Hello and welcome to Cambridge Community Television via Neighbor Media. I'm Maurice Wilkie, and this is the MLK weekend we're going into. And so if you're looking for some things in and around Cambridge, I actually found out that there's something going on right down the street on Mass Avenue, and it's actually at St. Peter's Episcopal Church, and I have on the line Brian Corr. Brian works for the City of Cambridge as the Executive Director of the Peace Commission, as well as the Police Community Advisory Board. Welcome to the show, Brian.
Well, thank you, Maurice. People often can't quite remember my title, but yes, I'm Executive Director of the Peace Commission in this context.
Well, thank you very much for joining me today. And so there is an event going on over at St. Peter's Episcopal Church on Martin Luther King Jr. Day, which is next Monday, the 15th. Can you actually shed some light on it?
Absolutely. So this is, of all the things I do in my work for the city, this is my favorite thing. I have the privilege of organizing an annual commemoration and remembrance of Dr. Martin Luther King. It starts at 11 a.m. on Monday the 15th, and as you said, it's at St. Peter's Episcopal Church, which is at 838 Mass Ave in Central Square, just down the street from the YMCA and kind of across from City Hall. And at this event, we work to really recognize the full legacy of Dr. King. Sometimes we think of him as the person that said, I have a dream. Sometimes he's remembered as a person that said, we need to help others. In our commemoration, we really build it around a speech he gave in 1967. In fact, it was 1 year to the day before he died.
Wow.
And in this speech, he talked about what he called the giant triplets of racism, extreme materialism, and militarism. And so we actually use words that he said in that speech. We also have a speaker. Our speaker this year is Paul Paravano. Paul's one of the two government relations people, co-director of their Office of Government Community Relations. He is an amazing speaker, an amazing advocate, serves on many boards, and I'm very much looking forward to what he has to share with us. He is going to be reflecting on the challenges we face in this current moment, a pretty divisive time, and he's going to be offering reflections on harboring fear and hope. We also have music at this event. It's not all just words. So we'll have a chorus of members of different Episcopal churches singing a gospel song. We'll also have a professional gospel singer and another local singer. And we'll have a community singing of the song Lift Every Voice and Sing, which personally is important to me because I grew up in the 70s. And we, at every event in a public forum, we sang the national anthem and what we often called the Black national anthem, Lift Every Voice and Sing. So I think there's something for everybody. We end after about an hour, and then we actually have an informal lunch down in the basement. It's free and open to all. Hopefully people can come to our event, participate, have some lunch. And then there's actually a completely separately organized day of service that starts at 2 o'clock in Central Square.
Yeah, so many helping hands, MLK Day of Service.
That's right.
And it's going to be happening over...
people go on to do that.
I love that idea. It's happening at the City Hall. Is it City Hall or the YWCA or both?
And more.
Oh.
So we end our lunch at 1:45.
Yes.
And then at 2 o'clock, the Many Helping Hands Day of Service starts with a kickoff on the steps of City Hall, and then some people do projects at City Hall, the YWCA, the Citywide Senior Center, St. Peter's Episcopal Church, so all right there in the square. And last year they got 2,000 people over the course of the day, and it's everything from people making fleece scarves and blankets for homeless people and families, gathering toiletries and supplies kits for homeless people, collecting food and sorting and organizing it. So there's a lot going on that day, and really it's a family-friendly day to, as many people say, to have a day on, not a day off.
I love that. And it sounds like it starts the whole week off. It seems like there's a whole week of different things people can do to commemorate Dr. King and his legacy.
No, it's true. There are three other things that are being organized by some of my colleagues in city government. On Tuesday evening at the Central Square Library at 6:30, there's a commemoration that they've actually been doing for 43 years at the Central Square Library. and they will have Reverend Irene Monroe,
Oh, yes.
a local minister and blogger and writer.
Yes.
Who does a lot of important work on issues of race and social justice. She'll be speaking. They've got light refreshments. So that's Tuesday the 16th, 6:30 Central Square Library. Thursday, January 18th, there are a couple of events. During the daytime at 1 p.m. at the Senior Center, there's an event organized for seniors but open to all called Misremembering Dr. King. And it's a retired professor from Boston University, Jennifer Yanko, who's written a book about really that idea that often people think of Dr. King as he wanted us all to be happy and live together, but that he really was an active campaigner against militarism, poverty, and racism.
Yes,
and so
that's true.
she'll be talking about that based on her book. And then the last big event I'm aware of is that Thursday evening, Thursday the 18th at 7 p.m., the Martin Luther King School on Putnam Avenue will be having a panel discussion called The King and I, where
Wow.
local Cambridge people are speaking about, distinguished people are speaking about the impact Dr. King has had on their own lives. So that will feature City Councilor and former Mayor Denise Simmons, former City Councilor and State Rep Sandra Graham, and Carol Hill, who's a local activist who co-founded the MLK's preschool and after-school programs.
Oh,
So there's a lot going on. There are, events for everybody and anybody, whatever your age, whatever your interests. I think it's really great that our city is able to do so many things to remind people that we have this holiday for Dr. King, not just because he was a great person who gave his life for justice, but because it's a continuing call to us 50 years later to make our city and our world a better place.
well, thank you very much, Brian Corr, for putting all of this together. I know this seems like a very deep labor of love. So if people want to find out more information online, what can they do, Brian?
We have all the information about the Peace Commission's event at our website, which is www.cambridgema.gov/peace, PEACE.
Very, very cool. And so once again, I just want to remind our listeners to check out the Cambridge MLK event on Monday, next Monday, which will be the commemoration of his holiday. It's from 11 a.m. to 1:45 p.m., as Brian said, over at St. Peter's Episcopal Church in Central Square. And that's 838 Massachusetts Avenue, kind of almost diagonal from City Hall. And it sounds like a lot of fun. I look forward to it, and look forward to seeing you there as well.
Well, thank you. And again, Maurice, I really appreciate giving me this opportunity to tell people about it. And thanks for your work to help educate and inform our community. It means a lot to us.
Well, thank you. Have yourself a great day, Brian.
Thank you so much, Maurice. I appreciate it. Have a great, great holiday, and we'll see you on Monday.